Trump's recent court defeat is far more than a mere political setback. It's a seismic event with staggering implications, around $175 billion to be exact. This isn't simply about one man's legal troubles. It symbolizes a much broader pattern rooted in historical precedent, where the outcomes we face are not random, but the predictable results of strategic decisions layered over time. Understanding this phenomenon is paramount, as it illuminates the shifting dynamics of the current geopolitical landscape, particularly concerning adversaries like Iran. Let's pause for a moment. Iran has successfully leveraged over X billion dollars in sanctions relief. This isn't just a statistic. It underscores a significant shift in global authority where the stakes are climbing higher by the day. The fundamental equilibrium is changing, and the question on everyone's mind is, how did we get here? To grasp the full ramifications of Trump's defeat and its cascading effects, we must delve into a multi-stage pattern that has historically governed the rise and fall of nations, shaping trajectories across generations. Let's start with stage one, where every significant crisis originates. It begins with foundational decisions, choices that might seem innocuous at the moment but serve as the groundwork for future turmoil. The United States has a documented history of overreaching actions, often driven by the illusion of unassailable power. This initial setup has created vulnerabilities, particularly in judicial and geopolitical contexts, mirroring cycles we've seen time and again. As we transition to stage two, we find an expansion of these overreaching policies. Over time, expansive actions foster vulnerabilities. The United States has frequently sought to expand its influence on a global scale. Yet, with this expansion comes aggressive strategies that stir resentment and backlash, especially from nations that feel marginalized by U.S. dictates. It's critical to recognize that every action has its reaction. History has taught us that. Now we advance to stage three, where the inevitable crisis unfolds. Each act of expansion inevitably leads to repercussions that come crashing down. For the U.S., this manifests through a deteriorating international standing and increasing diplomatic tensions. We're witnessing an emerging landscape where adversaries seize opportunities to exploit these weaknesses. It isn't just about legal rulings, it's about the power dynamics reshaping before our eyes. Finally, we reach stage four, the inevitable outcome. The crises we create often lead to a resurgence of adversarial powers on the global stage. Nations like Iran find fertile ground to strengthen their positions, assert their influence, and capitalize on the vulnerabilities left by U.S. miscalculations. The scenario unfolds not as a singular event, but as a continuum of history repeating itself, urging us to pay close attention. To validate this pattern, let's explore three historical case studies that illuminate these stages and demonstrate their recurrent nature. Case study 1. The Nixon shock in 1971 initiated a transformational change to the fiat currency system that sent ripples through global economics. In stage one, the decision to suspend the dollar's convertibility into gold marked the beginning of a profound shift away from established monetary norms. Stage two presented an initial illusion of advantage, where this transition seemed to expand U.S. economic power. However, it also laid precarious groundwork for future instability, an oversight that would haunt us in years to come. As we enter stage three, we see the global trust in the dollar begin to erode as countries adjusted, leading to uncertainty in international markets. The consequences became apparent, with financial institutions and nations reevaluating their dependencies. In stage four, alternatives to dollar hegemony began to emerge, disrupting the established order. This transformation showed us that vulnerabilities could be exploited, ensuring that the balance of power is not permanent. Now, let's examine case study 2, the Treaty of Versailles. This influential agreement, post-WWI, sought to humble Germany, but inadvertently sowed the seeds for future conflict. In stage one, the treaty's harsh conditions aimed to keep Germany in check, but instead planted the roots of resentment that would fester for years. By stage two, the economic reparations imposed upon Germany created immense instability, generating grievances that simmered beneath the surface. This instability led to stage three, where extremist factions arose to fill the power vacuum left by a weakened Germany. The political landscape began to shift, exposing fractures in the established system. By stage four, what followed was catastrophic. The outbreak of WTO, a direct consequence of misguided decisions stemming from the treaty. This not only highlighted the frailty of political machinations, but also illustrated how cycles of historical miscalculation can lead to disastrous outcomes. Let's turn our focus to case study 3, the 1970s stagflation crisis. This era serves as a stark example of a crisis born from severe economic mismanagement. In stage one, a series of overreaching domestic policies set the stage for inflation and economic malaise, laying bare the vulnerabilities within the system. Stage 2 reveals how an energy crisis exacerbated these issues, driving inflation higher while economic growth stagnated, resulting in a perfect storm of instability. By Stage 3, the losses started to mount. Faced with a significant drop in consumer confidence, market spirals became difficult to control, leading to a crisis many struggled to navigate. Finally, Stage 4 ushered in long-term shifts in global economic relations, transforming how nations interacted on economic fronts, and forever altering the power dynamics that governed international relations. Now, it's time to systematically apply this historical pattern to our current geopolitical climate, revealing the parallels that are undeniably present today. In Stage 1, we find the legal and political maneuvers surrounding Trump's case positioned as the setup. His actions have become a focal point of bipartisan conflict, weakening the nation's political fabric and setting a troubling precedent. As we move to Stage 2, U.S. foreign policy consistently contributes to adversarial actions. Nations like Iran feel emboldened and justified in resisting U.S. influence, leading to a cycle of provocation and retaliation that places us at risk of escalation. In Stage 3, the immediate repercussions of Trump's court decision signal a broader crisis unfolding before us. As Iran realizes potential gains from the resulting chaos, their aggressive posturing may escalate tensions further, shaking an already fragile global order. Finally, in Stage 4, the predictions are becoming increasingly clear. The U.S. could face waning influence in global affairs, leading to a significant reshaping of alliances and power dynamics. Adversaries are well positioned to claim the void left by a distracted America. We are witnessing history repeat itself in myriad ways. Check, verified, undeniable. In conclusion, the patterns of history reveal a continuous cycle, urging us to rethink complacency. To believe that this time is different is a dangerous delusion, as history has consistently shown us. Dismissing American exceptionalism, or squaring away on technology as a cure-all, only serves to distract us from the underlying systemic issues we face today. It's time to stay informed, understanding the global landscape while positioning ourselves strategically to navigate potential risks. Ignoring the lessons of the past guarantees repetition of mistakes now painfully familiar. If you found this analysis enlightening, subscribe to our channel for deeper dives into these critical geopolitical dynamics and the preparations necessary for what lies ahead. Together, let's navigate this complex landscape and prepare for the future that awaits us.